Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Oklahoma Sports Network. This is Tracy Mussett and Jordan Ray. We are at Carl Albert High School for Class 5A regional tournament action tonight. It is the Carl Albert Lady Titans taking on the Spartans, the Lady Spartans from Southeast High School in Oklahoma City. This is a matchup between District 5A1 and 5A2. We were just talking with some of the crew here for Oklahoma Sports Network on how they do these matchups. And so the top rated or the top seeded team in District 5A1, the district champion, plays the 8th seed from District 2, 2 plays 7, 3 plays 6, and so forth down the line.
There's a little bit of a difference here, though, Tracy, because Southeast finished 8th in their district. Carl Albert finished 2nd. However, Southeast moved up to the 7th seed because the John Marshall girls forfeited.
Correct.
Which is an interesting situation because John Marshall played the last week of the season. So it's a curious thing from the outside why they end up forfeiting, but they did. And so El Reno gets a bye tonight. They'll be in action Friday. And it'll be Carl Albert who hosts the 8th seed.
Yeah, it's really interesting because you would expect that the top seed would get a bye and everyone else would fall down, but that's not the way it plays out.
No, El Reno gets the bye.
Right.
They're the top seed. So
yeah, that's right. That's right. El Reno gets the bye. I apologize.
No, but one thing you said that's interesting is these are all matchups for tonight. District 1 versus District 2 in the West, and over in the East, District 3 versus District 4. And it's really not in no way does it really determine the best district, except for maybe those 4 or 5 matchups might give it a bit of an indication of what the better district is.
Maybe
we'll have a better idea later on.
Maybe even if you have a 6 upset of 3, that could tell you a lot.
Well, we'll talk more about it for that game, but we have a 6-3 matchup later tonight, and I like Del City, the 3 seed in that game, but they got to be careful for a few reasons we'll get into against the 6-seeded Guthrie.
Absolutely. So we're about to have a national anthem here in the gymnasium as the teams are finished warming up, and we're about ready to tip off here in just a couple of minutes. Oklahoma Sports Network, Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray, back at Carl Albert High School for Class 5A girls regional basketball action tonight. Is the Carl Albert Lady Titans hosting the Southeast Lady Spartans. The Lady Spartans are being introduced now. Our starting lineups brought to you by Dynamic Health, who we'll talk about just a little bit more in a moment. Our starting lineup for Southeast is number 2, Isla Sarabia. Did I pronounce that right, Jordan?
Yes.
And we also have number 10, Ana Martinez. Number 13, Roxanne Hopkins. Number 21, Rebecca Cano. That did sound like that's what he said. He said Mia Gonzalez, didn't he? Okay.
Yeah, well, they're both starting.
All right. Mia Gonzalez, number 25, the 5th starter. And our starting lineup now for the Carl Albert Lady Titans. Not a very big crowd here tonight, just a few folks in the gymnasium. This is not expected to be a highly contested game. Skylar Anderson, number 12 for your Carl Albert Lady Titans. Sophomore guard, Jakari Brown. Skylar Anderson, a sophomore as well. Number 20, another sophomore, Essence Curry. 3 sophomore guards starting for the Carl Albert Lady Titans. And Audrey Plunkett, a 5'10" sophomore guard. She kind of plays like that extended forward position. And then you have senior, number 24, Asha Moore, in the starting lineup for the Carl Albert Lady Titans. Again, our starting lineup's brought to you by Dynamic Health. At Dynamic Health Clinic, Dr. Kaufman specializes in athletic injuries and is able to get athletes back in action very quickly using a system called Advanced Muscle Integration. Play better and recover faster at Dynamic Health Clinic. About to tip off in the first period. First period brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings at 5500 Tinker Diagonal, Dell City. Come to Buffalo Wild Wings to support your favorite Mid-Dell winter sports team. Download the team card on your phone, show your waiter, and your team will get 10% off the proceeds. I was back there just recently, and, of course, I had my desert heat dry rub there at Buffalo Wild Wings. That is my favorite.
We were about to have a jump ball, but a technical is being called on Southeast. It almost certainly has to do with a scorebook issue. They have a number wrong or something like that. I've been at the wrong end of that before as a coach.
It's very frustrating, isn't it?
Yes.
And so shooting free throws for Carl Albert is Jakari Brown. She hits both free throws on the technical foul before the clock ever starts. As a result, we will also not have a jump ball. Carl Albert gets the possession after the free throws.
That's disappointing. I think they should change that. Have the jump ball. Jump balls are exciting. They're very rare in high school and college because of those rules, which I would like adding that as we're going to see an easy layup for Audrey Plunkett. But I was going to say to finish that thought, we're going to see Skylar Anderson jump for Carl Albert. She's the 3rd tallest player on the Titans, so that was an interesting the decision there to see her jump, and we missed out on that.
So there's a turnover for Southeast, trying to feed the ball inside, picked off by Carl Albert. Now a dish across the paint going from Brown over to Moore, and can't get it to her. It's tipped out of bounds. Carl Albert ball on the baseline. 4-0, less than 30 seconds into the ball game. Asha Moore in the paint puts a shot up, and at the 30-second mark, it is a 6-0 game.
And Carl Albert kind of going for a kill shot right here with a full court press. And Southeast was doing a good job at it, actually, to break it, and then drew a foul.
So Hopkins catches the ball right at the half-court line there, and Anderson just gets her body into her a little bit too much. She had good position that it looked like Hopkins was going to travel, but then Anderson got into her body.
Yeah, if you're going to press in a game like this, right away is the best time to do so.
7:15 on the clock. Martinez running point for Southeast. Shots missed, picked up by Curry. Moore's pushing the ball right back down the court. Kicks it to the corner, and Plunkett for 3. It's a little bit short, just catches the side of the iron. Rebound by Southeast. Southeast has a one-on-one. Moore's down there on defense. Shots put up, and the ball's going out of bounds off the hands of Southeast.
It's a good attack there by Hopkins, but something you see with younger players, and she's only a freshman. She wanted to go right. She needs to, from that position, try to attack to the left. And maybe that way she can make a quicker move. She has less room doing that.
Anderson at the top of the key. So Carl Albert scored 6 points in the first 30 seconds, and now a minute later has not put another point on the board. Nonetheless, 6 is good, but there's 2 more courtesy of Audrey Plunkett.
Audrey Plunkett has made 2 really good attacks to the basket, one with the ball and then one without.
Anderson pokes the ball away. It's chased down by Gonzalez, and then Anderson picks up her second personal foul and second team foul.
That's got to be a little disappointing because she can't play as aggressive as she likes. However, she will stay in this game. Coach Ritchie decides to trust his sophomore. Another foul's going to be called on Carl Albert, though.
Asha Moore picks up her first personal, third team foul, 2 minutes into the first period. Mia Gonzalez is going to be at the line, shooting 2 free throws. That was a nice little turnaround by Mia. The shot didn't have a lot of control over it, but she got into the body of Moore. And we've had, this is our third free throw. We didn't even talk about this coming into the technical foul shots at the beginning of the game, but our free throw sponsor is Toonie Buys Houses. It buys homes in any condition. If you're someone you know needs to sell a home for any reason, call Toonie Buys Houses today for a cash offer, 405-931-3046. Mia Gonzalez hit both of those Toonie Buys Houses free throws.
Yeah, the bank was open on the second one.
Full court pressure by Carl Albert. Southeast beats it. They've got a 2-on-1. A little hard off the glass on the layup there by Martinez, and a rebound by Carl Albert. Curry, the corner. Anderson behind her back, takes the baseline, lays it up, gets her own rebound, misses, gets her own rebound, kicks it out to Plunkett. Plunkett puts it off the glass, and that was a really nice move by Plunkett.
Really good pass from Skylar Anderson, angling herself where she could see that. She could see Plunkett attack on the opposite side along the baseline.
Anderson was in there between 3 defensive players, come down with 2 offensive boards on that possession.
You know, we had the Carl Albert game last week against Altus, and I got to tag along with the Altus crew who came up here. And there's the thing about that. They fell behind early because then the sophomores were starting, and then they came in and changed things immediately in that game.
There's a 3 attempted by Jakari Brown. Shot's no good. Asha Moore gets the rebound, kicks it back out to Anderson, who resets the offense for Carl Albert.
Southeast going zone, and this is something that I actually talked to Coach Ritchie about on the air. Carl Albert wants to become very efficient against the zone. Now they get some high post action, which is always good.
Anderson for 3, back iron, Moore with the rebound. A lot of second chance opportunities for Carl Albert here in the early goings of this ball game.
Well, a lot of it's speed and just instincts. These Carl Albert players much more seasoned and experienced than the Southeast players.
Moore splits defenders, pulls up from 10 feet out, puts in 2.
She has played, I mean, look, we've seen a lot of Asha Moore the last 3 years. Her basketball has gotten better and better in the last couple of weeks.
Mia Gonzalez makes a nice post move, gets behind the defense, and then cannot convert. Rebound, Carl Albert. Anderson all the way to the hole.
And she draws a foul.
That's the first foul. No, I missed a couple.
Well, the technical foul may have counted against Southeast.
That's right.
So, yeah, it's now 2 on Southeast.
That one was on Roxanne Hopkins.
So, Skylar Anderson shooting some Toonie Buys Houses free throws. And
she gets the shooter's roll off the front of the rim on that one.
So it's actually Southeast, the first team making a bunch of subs. That's interesting.
Not a lot of height on the court for Southeast.
No, the tallest player out there would be Sykes. I believe the Shernara Sykes is her name.
Anderson converts on both of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws. Interesting note, we have 6 free throws in the ballgame so far, and all 6 have been made. That's between the 2 teams. Tip away, Plunkett. She's got a fast break, going to the hole with it, lays it off the glass. And she has 8 points here in the first period.
We're going to see that on the Super Subs replay. And that's something she will do a lot of, especially against smaller guards, because she has an incredible combination of length and quickness.
Super Subs, our instant replay sponsor. Super Subs has chicken Phillies. Try the deluxe buffalo or barbecue chicken. There's a couple of offensive boards by Southeast. They cannot convert, and then the ball is taken away by Carl Albert. Moore kicks the ball out. 3 attempted by Curry, no good. Plunkett right back to the hole. Plunkett putting on a move on, putting on a clinic on how to get to the basket. Cannot convert on that one, though.
No one can stay with her, size-wise or quickness-wise for Southeast. As you can see, that's one of the things she's done a lot this year. She's established herself on the defensive end, just very active. We have a frozen screen right now. We're going to get that fixed, but we'll keep the audio going.
So ball tipped out of bounds on a block shot by Plunkett, who we were just talking about. Now Southeast inbounds. It is Sykes who takes the inbound pass at the block, kicks it back out. Davis now back to Sykes. Sykes has Moore on defense. And then she turns into Moore. Moore just takes the ball away from her. Now Anderson on a fast break. It's a 2-on-1 behind her back pass. And it is Zakari Brown converting on that one. She has 4 points, and it's an 18-2 lead. Our Super Subs instant replays, and we have a 30-second timeout on the court.
So everything's going the way Carl Albert would hope right now. And what's interesting about this year that's so different is that girls will play now on a Tuesday and then a Friday afternoon, so there's a 2-day gap. That's very different. It used to be Thursday and then Saturday afternoon. Still, it's important that if you can rest your starters or your core players, you do that. And obviously you don't want any injuries. Of course, Carl Albert had to deal with an important injury this year to Skylar Anderson, but as you can tell right now, she's recovered from that. So they want to be able to go to their bench soon and go to their bench for several minutes this game is Carl Albert. And they're right now in their position to do that.
Coming out of the timeout, Southeast has the basketball. Davis takes the ball. Carl Albert backs up into the half-court defense, and we're going to have a
foul on Asha.
Foul?
I think it's her second.
It is.
And then in a different setting, and in fact, when Carl Albert plays Friday, they may handle that differently. But 2 fouls for Skylar Anderson and Asha Moore.
And there's a takeaway. Plunkett has the ball now, and she'll bring it on up the court.
She has dominated. She is so, right now, by far and away the player of the game.
Oh, I was just thinking the exact same thing. Nice move by Anderson, but then got a little too far into the basket and shoots into the bottom of the rim. Rebound Southeast. Ball tipped away by Curry. Anderson comes up with it. Anderson's going to pull up, allow her teammates to catch up with her, and we're going to have another wholesale change by Southeast coming up at the next clock stoppage. Plunkett under the basket, jumping, waving her hands, and finds herself in a bad spot under the basket.
Yeah, she lost track of where she was, and then gets called for an over-the-back foul that you may not see if the opponent she got it over, I didn't catch who that was taller.
Well, we're about to see that person shoot free throws because that is the fifth team foul on Carl Albert.
In the game, that would be Sarabia, I believe. There's 2 Sarabias for Southeast. They're twins.
Hard to see the numbers with the ponytails hanging down over the number. I can't tell what number the player is.
So it'd be 12.
18-2 is the score. It is number 12.
And her twin sister's coming in. We will see her on defense here in a moment.
And Sarabia misses the first of the 2 Toonie Buys Houses free throws, but she hits the second.
Now, because she hit the second, she'll come out and replaced by Anna Martinez. Now, another thing that's different, Tracy, it's worth mentioning this quite often. Southeast, if they fall short this game, they're not done. They get another game. That is first time they've done it this way.
Yeah, double elimination for everyone, right?
Yes.
Steal and a fast break layup from the left side. Rebecca Cano can't get it converted. Mia Gonzalez gets the rebound. She puts it up, and there's the first field goal of the game for Southeast. The score's 18-5. Carl Albert on top. And Carl Albert now turns it over on the other end. That's their second turnover of the game.
Maybe Plunkett or someone who stepped out or stepped inbounds after the make.
Inbound pass goes to Gonzalez, down inside, and a little hook shot put up by Keno.
Got a couple of good possessions there at Southeast.
Anderson gets the ball right down the court. Now she'll pull up. She's got some pretty good handles, doesn't she?
Oh, yeah. She's fast, too, with the ball.
Jakari Brown for three. That one off the front of the rim. Gonzalez with the rebound for Southeast. Gonzalez feeds the ball to Martinez. Martinez brings the ball on up the court. We're under a minute to play. There's another fast break opportunity for Southeast. Cannot convert. It's Keno missing the layup. And Plunkett gets a rebound off another miss by Southeast with 35 seconds on the clock.
If that shot went in, I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Ritchie decided to call a timeout. It's not great defense from Carl Albert by their standards the last 2 or 3 trips.
Getting pretty relaxed.
Yeah.
Skip pass. Brown drives in, gets into a double team. The ball swings back around. Plunkett takes the three. Front of the rim, no good. And Jakari Brown gets the rebound and goes right back up, puts it off the glass. She has 6 points, and the score's 20-5. 5 seconds on the clock, first period. Cano off the glass, good for 2.
That's just a lapse from Carl Albert, letting someone open underneath like that.
There's been several of those long passes down the court for Southeast. It is the end of one period of play, 20-7. Carl Albert on top of Southeast, and we're going to take a break here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
I want to start a car mechanic shop.
Let's say we go to Scissor Tape.
Ready to go get some coffee?
Yeah, let's go.
You got it.
I think she was from
1,
Rose State.
2, 3.
Woo-hoo!
Congratulations, Rose State college graduates.
Where sports is our middle name. We are the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Oklahoma Sports Network. This is Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray, Carl Albert High School. It is Class 5A Girls Regionals here at Carl Albert. The Carl Albert Lady Titans leading the Southeast Lady Spartans 20-7 after one period of play. Southeast has the ball to begin the second period. We've got a block and we call it a takeaway rebound there for Plunkett. Asha Moore for three from the corner. I think that Mia Gonzalez may have gotten a hand on that or just a fingertip. And Southeast comes up with the basketball. 7.5 minutes to play in this Casa Juanito second period. Casa Juanito is a quick service restaurant offering fresh and flavorful fiesta meals in Del City since 1976. Located at 4718 Southeast 29th Street, Del City. That is just east of Sooner Road on 29th. There's our first three of the ball game. It's Essence Courage running a Bobby Lewis Insurance 3. Surprisingly great rates with 2 locations to serve you, one in Choctaw, one in Del City. It's Bobby Lewis Insurance. Go ahead.
Well, it doesn't matter how good the team is they're playing. When the other team's going zone, it's so important to get into a rhythm from three-point range. You want it to start in this game, you want it to last into the next few games you're playing, because Carl Albert will see zone, I think, quite a bit in this postseason. And now they make their first subs of the game.
You know, and it hasn't been as big of a factor because of the dominance of Plunkett and Moore in the paint. It hasn't been as big of an issue. They're just so athletic and have more height than Southeast has, but it could sure open things up and make an even greater difference inside. You are absolutely right.
Well, Southeast is scrapping right now. This particular unit is actually that's in for Southeast since they've gone back in because they've made a lot of subs. Has had some pretty solid offensive possessions here.
So a jump ball was called, possession Carl Albert. Brown on the left wing kicks it back out to Anderson. Lainey Moore at the top of the key now, and she kicks it out. Brown for three. That one's front of the rim, no good. Rebound goes to number 11, Evie Mitchell. Moore with an offensive board. Putback's no good. Gets her own rebound again, and Carl Albert will reset their offense. Anderson in the corner, three, boom, another Bobby Lewis Insurance 3.
You know, she's gotten a lot better at shooting threes this season from Skylar Anderson. She's played more of a guard position than she did last year, and you can tell.
Anderson steps in front of the pass, steals that one away, going for the layup, And she sees the defender coming, does a little underhand scoop, and draws the foul.
And Skylar Anderson missed about 2 or 3 weeks with an ankle injury. She came back in a huge win against Shawnee, which allowed Carl Albert to host as a 2 seed, which is so important to them. It's a big deal to teams to host a regional, and that has not changed. And since she's come back, she does not look like she ever missed a beat. She's moving so well. I didn't say anything about her free throws. I just said the way she's moving.
Well, she hit the first 2 in
That's right.
In the first period. Now she misses this first free throw here. Toonie Buys House's free throws. 5:49 to play in the second period. The score is 26-7. Carl Albert on top. Anderson's second free throw is up, and it's good. She's 3 for 4 on the Toonie Buys House's free throws. Martinez passes down low to Sarabia. Takes the 3 from the right wing. Shot no good. Anderson gets the rebound. She's directing traffic from back court. Feeds it all the way down the court to Moore.
Nice stealer by Davis. And then Anderson got it back.
Rouchet in the game for Carl Albert. She almost throws it away, but Carl Alberts manages to save that possession. Anderson top of the key. Moore right wing. Moore for 3 from the right wing. Catches the edge of the iron, no good. Rebound by Laney Moore, and she's going back up for the shot, draws the foul.
So the biggest player out there for Southeast right now is Rebecca Cano, and she went out to contest Asha Moore's 3, and no one else from Southeast has the size to keep Laney Moore off the glass. And this is the rotation you're seeing with Laney Moore in, Evie Mitchell, Shelby Rouchet. Those are the 3 players that you will probably see in very competitive games coming off the bench for Carl Albert. So it's important that they get in a good rhythm as well.
Laney Moore misses the first of the 2 Toonie Buys House's free throws. Hits the second. Laney Moore and Shelby Rouchet, both seniors in there right now. Pass from Davis. Passes it out to Cano.
Oh, nice shot.
The shot's put up off the glass, and we've got the super subs instant replay. Was that Cano that shot that?
Yes.
Okay.
They've used the bank pretty well, actually. They've hit a couple shots as Southeast where the bank was open from the top of the key or the free throw line.
28-9. Asha Moore for 3, and she drains that one. She was confident when it came out of her hand.
She's been a very confident three-point shooter. Her and Skylar Anderson. Oh, speaking of Skylar Anderson, stealing the score. Yep. What I was going to say is Asha Moore and Skylar Anderson were probably the 2 players that didn't shoot threes very much in the starting lineup for Carl Albert last year. The 3 senior guards they had, Kofer, Sutton, and Diaz shot more threes, but those 2 are becoming 2 of the best three-point shooters this year.
Anna Martinez dribbles off her foot right into the hands of a Carl Albert player. Mitchell puts up the shot from the baseline. No good. Laney Moore gets a rebound.
Nice.
She feeds it to Asha Moore under the basket. What a nice dish.
And she made that pass. It looked like she had no idea where Asha Moore was until she quickly flicked her wrists and showed that her vision was actually pretty good on that play the whole time.
What I like in seeing that kind of play is you're up by 24 points at that point in the first half. And instead of just getting like this attitude of, oh, I'm going to go get my points, you're down low and you're looking for a teammate. And that's pretty phenomenal to see from the senior Laney Moore.
Oh, she's a very unselfish player. She embodies the we before me that Coach Rich likes to talk about, and she gets rewarded there.
Laney Moore gets the dish from a teammate. She puts in the 15-foot jumper, and we've got a 30-second timeout on the court. 37-9 is the score with 3 minutes and 10 seconds left to play in the first half.
Want to mention something else? We're not done after this game. Del City is also in this regional, and so we're going to get their game against Guthrie after this. That game should start around 7:30, and the other thing about it is it's going to be on a different channel than this one. So this is on the Carl Albert channel. This Del City game will be a new stream, but you shouldn't have to look too far on Facebook, YouTube, or of course the Oklahoma Sports Network's website, or watching it through your streaming app to get that game. And that's a 6 versus 3 matchup. So you already mentioned that maybe you might see some interesting matchups there. And in fact, except for the games going on in El Reno, the 6 versus 3 and 4 versus 5 matchups, those will be the second games on tonight. And so those will be the games where you might see more competitive battle because of the seeding. Also, you're seeing two teams playing on a neutral court.
You always expect the 4-5 matchups to be competitive. You hope the 3-6 matchups are more competitive. Last thing you want to see is 3 uncompetitive blowout games out of 4 in between the two districts. Carl Albert bringing the ball down the court. Plunkett down low to Richey, and she puts it right off the glass for 2. Everybody getting in on the scoring here. We have 7 players scored already for Carl Albert.
Yeah, they were in a bit of a mini slump late in the first quarter, but now they're moving so well without the ball. They're in a real good comfort zone as Carl Albert.
So that is the first foul of the second period on Carl Albert.
That's the other thing. No fouls until 2:31 to go this quarter. They picked up some fouls early. You could see she's out now, but Skylar Anderson a few times is held back from reaching for the ball. Conscientious of the fact that she has 2 fouls. She doesn't want to come out because of that.
30-point lead for Carl Albert. Pressure defense for Carl Albert as they're able to man up pretty well against Southeast. Laney Moore tips the pass away. It's a steal for Carl Albert. Plunkett going right to the hole. Nice left-handed layup on the left side.
She is a righty, but she's also really skilled. She's really been showing just about everything you would want to see from a player from inside the paint and then on defense.
And Plunkett now has 10 points here in the first half. Another foul on Carl Albert.
And they're sticking with.
That one's on Richey.
Carl Albert is the 8-man rotation, but when the freshmen start to come in and some other players that aren't in the immediate rotation, that's when besides the fact that you have the game in hand usually or close to it, things really get fun because the starters love seeing those players succeed.
Sarabia takes the inbound pass, pushes it inside. Next pass is taken away by Carl Albert.
Now you saw Sarabia shot a lefty hook, or I believe that may have been Cano, and that block is a lot more impressive than people think by Plunkett. And then Curry gets on the board.
Curry, her second 3 here in the second period. The 3 points shots brought to you by Bobby Lewis Insurance. You can reach Bobby Lewis in Choctaw at 405-281-6700 or in Del City at 405-670-3665. Missed shot by Southeast, rebound by Carl Albert. 44-9 the score with a little over a minute to play in the first half. Laney Moore putting a shoulder in the defender, backs her down, kicks the ball back out, and Carl Albert will reset their offense.
Right now it's about execution for Carl Albert. Whatever play you're running, you want to execute it the way you practice. Pretty good set there, if that's what it was.
Laney Moore makes a nice move to get a little space between her and the defender. We can't connect on the shot. Now a takeaway by Mitchell. Mitchell feeds it all the way down the court to Curry, who connects on the layup. Curry now has 8 points in the second period, and the score's 46-9 with 30 seconds left to play in the half.
Mitchell led Curry very well. She threw the ball where Curry was heading, not where Curry was. Another steal.
Richey read that pass very quickly, steps in the passing lane. Mitchell puts up the layup, and it's good for 2.
Now we see another right-handed player for Carl Albert. They don't have any lefties in their rotation. Another righty player make an easy shot on the left side with the left hand.
And a turnover for Southeast as the ball just goes through the hands of Kyra Davis with 3 seconds left in the half.
Well, I'll wait till the half ends, but we got some scores to talk about in a bit here.
And that's going to be the half with the Carl Albert Lady Titans putting 48 on the board in the first half, holding Southeast to 9, a 39-point lead as we go into the break. And what kind of score updates do you have for us, Jordan?
Well, these are on the Oklahoma Sports Network. As you can tune in and watch. Another game where you have kind of a mismatch on paper is Western Heights, who's the 8th seed in the District 1, taking on the top seed in District 2, Midwest City. Midwest City was up early 22-4. But a competitive game over in El Reno. So Altus and Guyman are playing in El Reno now. They've moved that game up because El Reno again has a bye. So that's a 4 versus 5 matchup taking place right now. and that game is also on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
And what was the score in that one?
Oh, sorry, yeah, 2018, Altus leads Guyman.
Okay, so a 2-point ball game.
Yes.
Wow, that's an exciting game. You know, it's fun to watch Carl Albert girls come out and they learn some things, and you see some good shots and you see some steals, and as a Carl Albert fan, you're excited to see all of that. But if you want good competitive basketball, this is not the kind of game you want to watch.
No, this is what you expect to see in the first round.
Right.
Not very many competitive games. I think the games on Friday will be very competitive because you'll have teams that are much closer to each other seeding-wise.
And then those Saturday games when you have teams playing for
– Those are some bonus basketball because that's not something we had before.
Yeah, that's the games where the team that loses is going home.
Yes.
And the team that wins is going on in the losers bracket, you know, with only one more loss in front of them, and that's do or die in those games. Typically, those can be pretty competitive.
We'll have do or die games on Friday between the teams that lose.
Right.
And then we'll have another do or die game Saturday. You basically, if you lose here, you still have to win 2 games to move on to the area weekend. What you want to do is move on to area weekend with no losses. Then you're only 1 win away from state. So you got to go 2-0 for that. Anything else, you got to go to get to there. You got to go 2-1 at that point. And so there's a little more work to do this weekend, and then you got more work to do next weekend because then you got to win 2 games to get state.
So by moving all 8 teams from each district into the regional tournament, OSSAA has made the structure of the tournament path much more like what it is in the lower classes, where they don't have districts, but everyone goes into the playoffs, and it's a double elimination.
That's
the difference is how you get there and how you're seated here.
Double elimination is what's different. The regionals were not double elimination before. This would be an elimination game.
Right.
So,
all right, so folks, it's time for us to take a break. 48-9 at halftime. The Carl Albert Lady Titans on top of the Southeast Lady Spartans. Thank you for watching, and I hope you're enjoying this high school basketball here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and asked yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light, and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
Call Rob and Will.
Where sports is our middle name.
Oklahoma Sports Network. Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray back at Carl Albert High School, where the Carl Albert Lady Titans lead the Southeast Lady Spartans 48-9 as we begin the second half of play. This third period brought to you by Rose State College. Parents, if you want to save money on college, help your student get ahead by earning college credit in high school. It's called concurrent enrollment, and Rose State College makes it easy and very affordable. Apply today at rose.edu/concurrent. We have a foul called on Jackie Brown, who is now in the ball game for Carl Albert.
Yep. Her sister is Jakari Brown. We are seeing Carl Albert now go to some of their youth.
And we had a miss on the first of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws, but a make on the second. The score now 48-10. Carl Albert with the ball. Piper Mitchell in the ball game now, along with Kinley Sutton and also Hayden Harrell.
Hayden Harrell, by the way, the younger sister of Mason Harrell and Jaden Harrell. Two really good players for the boys teams in recent years.
Hatchett in the ball game. She's on the left wing. Skip pass across the court. And
nice.
There's a three by Piper Mitchell. That's a Bobby Lewis Insurance three.
What made that impressive, there's no arc on that shot, and she still made it.
And a three from the left wing that was Anna Martinez, shot no good. Hayden Harrell pushing the ball down the court, dishes it out to a teammate. Three from the left wing, no good. In the paint, shot put up by Mitchell, has it blocked and taken away, and a jump ball is called. Ball will stay with Carl Albert.
Will we see any of the starters or the top eight for Carl Albert the rest of this game? I thought they're not going to play until Friday.
Inbound pass tipped away, stolen by Southeast. Cano takes the pass, dishes it back out to Davis, and Martinez heading to the hole, but we're going to have a blocking foul called. And that is going to be on Hatchett.
All right, this time we do have a frozen screen, so we're going to get you the audio as best we can, and then we'll have the screen fixed for you in a second.
We have two fouls now on Carl Albert here in the third period. That's Hatchett's first personal. 6.5 minutes into the third period. Davis inbounds to Cano. Cano takes a nice little step, puts up a little hook shot in the paint. It bounces around, comes off the glass, falls through the hole. And Cano now has 6 points in the basketball game. 51-12 is the score. Driving to the hole, putting it high off the glass is Kinley Sutton. Misses it, gets her own rebound. Shot back up and a rebound by Southeast. 6 minutes to play in the third. Martinez, the top of the key, drives the right side of the lane, and a foul is called on Piper Mitchell. That'll be her second personal, I believe. No, excuse me, that is her first personal. And that is the third foul on Carl Albert here in the third period. I wouldn't expect that we would have to see starters back in the game for Carl Albert, but if the foul count starts racking up at this pace, or continues to rack up at this pace, we may see someone come in just to settle things down a little bit. Toonie Buys Houses free throws coming at the hands of Anna Martinez. She misses the first. Toonie Buys Houses in any condition. If you or someone you know needs to sell a home for any reason, call Toonie Buys Houses today for a cash offer. 405-931-3046. Martinez misses both of the free throws. Carl Albert getting right down the court. Jackie Brown had that rebound on the other end. Piper Mitchell, Horton, and now the ball swings back around, top of the key. Brown looking to go inside, nothing there. Horton comes out to the high post, bounces back down into the corner. Lob pass into the corner, shot put up by Hatchett, and she draws the foul. Hatchett's going to the line to shoot 2 free throws. And the foul goes against number 2, Sarabia.
All right, we got the camera shot going for you, so just in time to see Malia Hatchett, Coach Hatchett's daughter. Of course, Coach Hatchett gets to double dip here, see the Cropper girls, and then, of course, he's the Del City boys coach, so he can see the Del City girls as well. We'll definitely be rooting for both teams tonight.
Hatchett misses both free throws. Rebound goes to Mia Gonzalez, and Southeast, the Lady Spartans, getting the ball back down the court.
Of course, Southeast, they will play again on Friday as well. New format we've been talking about, but it's the first time ever that's been this way, so it's worth mentioning again. These games, which are normally on Thursday and normally elimination games, are on a Tuesday and not an elimination game.
Inbound pass. Bringing the ball down the court. Harrell, top of the key, passes off. Hatchett on the left wing. And she's going to bounce out top. Little contact in there as Brown backs into Gonzalez. The ball comes off her hands, and Martinez might have, and the foul is called. I started to say might have got away with the travel, but whistle blows, foul is called on Carl Albert.
It's on Hatchett, and I thought Hatchett held her ground pretty well.
That's Hatchett's second personal, 4th team foul on Carl Albert. So Southeast is in the bonus on the next foul here in the 3rd period. Martinez, first of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws, is short. She's 0 for 3 at the free throw line.
Yeah. I was going to say, Southeast has been the aggressor. And I think it's important for these young Titans in the game right now. Learn how to deal with that when they're calling the fouls and the other team's going right at you.
And yet it's Southeast is leading scoring here in the 3rd period, but it's 4-3.
Yeah.
They've only outscored them by 1. Harrell kicks the ball to Mitchell. Mitchell for 3. Boom, there's a Bobby Lewis Insurance 3 by Mitchell. Bobby Lewis Insurance, you can reach him in Del City with his surprisingly great rates at 405-670-3665.
2 threes for Piper Mitchell.
Yes.
I didn't even ask if she's Evie's sister. I should ask on the air. Talk to Coach Ritchie after this game.
Shot put up by Southeast. It is Horton getting the rebound. She's going right to the hole, coast to coast, lays it off the glass, a little contact, no call. Under 4 minutes to play in the 3rd now. Davis defended by Harrell. Martinez makes
That's
a
very
nice
good footwork by Martinez there. Good hop step.
She has 3 points, and 54-15 is the score. Both teams now having scored 6 in the 3rd. Harrell's going to the hole, draws the foul. She's pretty quick.
Oh yeah, and she's got really good handles. And she would have that even if she was taller. I hope she's able to get a little bit taller here for regular varsity play in the future. But you can tell she's got a lot of comfort when she's holding the basketball.
Kyra Davis called for her first personal foul. It's 2nd team foul on Southeast. Harrell misses the first of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws. Second shot's up, and it's a little hard on back iron. Cano comes up with the rebound, gives it to Davis. Davis is pushing the ball up the court quickly. Screen set by Martinez. Davis gives it back to Martinez. Martinez draws the foul going to the hole.
Maybe on Jackie Brown. She was not completely vertical, though, so I get that call. No, it's actually on Piper Mitchell.
That's her 2nd personal and the 5th team foul on Carl Albert here in the 3rd. Martinez, 3 trips to the free throw line here in the 3rd period. This is she misses the front end here of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws, about to shoot her 6th free throw of the 3rd.
And you loved pointing out in the first half that the teams were making their free throws, and I have to point out now they're not, and not in this half.
Yeah, Martinez on that miss of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws is 1 for 6 here in the 3rd period. And Eli Hernandez is now in the ball game for Carl Albert. along with Katie Norton. I was saying Katie Norton earlier. It was Kinley Sutton. And Katie Norton now in the ball game. Loose ball picked up by Sutton. She goes to the hole, misses the layup, tips the ball out. It's picked up by Sarabia, who may have gotten away with a double dribble there or a travel or something, but no call. 2:50 on the clock. Third period of play. Martinez showing some really good footwork here in this third period.
Good instincts, just makes a very quick, assertive move.
54-17. 8-6, Southeast has outscored Carl Albert here in the third, with Carl Albert with a 39-point lead, though, going into the period, and Hatchett drives to the hole, drawing the foul.
Good job on using her left hand. By the way, thinking of that, we also have all three Mid-Del boys varsity teams in action Thursday, and they're all hosting, but we're able to find the announcers for it. Of course, you're going to hear Josh Calloway call the Middle City girls game right now. They're up big on Western Heights, and we'll be back at Carl Albert. And Levi Tovar from Altus should be calling the Altus Del City game on Thursday.
Malia Hatchett hits the front end, misses the second free throw. Free throws brought to you by Toonie Buys Houses, 405-931-3046. Davis dribbling, and a lot of pressure there by Harrell. Harrell gets called for the foul.
Yeah, the refs, they're calling the fouls right now on Carl Albert, and like I said, the young players need to be able to adjust to that. But Hayden Harrell, she's going to be one of those players that's going to at times pressure the ball from 90 feet when she can.
Kyra Davis hits the front end of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws. 8 free throws for Southeast here in the third period, and we still have over 2 minutes to play. Davis hits both free throws. 56-19 the score. Carl Albert on top. And this is a Class 5A regional matchup. This is the very first round of the playoffs. And there's a takeaway by Martinez as she just strips it away from Hernandez. Martinez goes to the hole, misses the left-handed layup. Cano gets the rebound, is fouled on the putback attempt. And it's Hernandez picking up the foul. That's 7 fouls, even though we really don't count after 5 in the third period.
That's correct. You don't see 6 or more on that foul list anymore, thanks to those changes.
Cano hits the front end of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws.
So Carl Albert looking like they'll be in the victories round, or we'll call it the regional championship game, which is now a Friday afternoon. Used to be a Saturday afternoon, and they will await the winner of Guthrie and Del City the next game here. So coaches and players will get a scout. Yeah, although they're very familiar with Guthrie, and they're familiar with Del City because Del City returns their team, most of their team from last year, but they haven't played Del City yet this season.
Yeah, the oddest thing about that whole setup to me with, I like the double elimination thing, even though it leads to some pretty lopsided games with adding more teams in, is you have your regional championship games, your winter bracket games with your top-seeded teams typically on an afternoon instead of evening. And that's the part that's kind of odd to me.
Well, it's going from a Friday to a Saturday to a Friday.
Right.
The boys' games, they're going from a Saturday evening to a Friday evening. The regional championship games. Those are the most important games there. Those are the games that will have a big bearing on who actually will go to state.
Katie Norton gets a bucket on the other end for Carl Albert. Turnover by Southeast. A little over a minute to play in the third period. Harrell driving all the way to the hole. She found a lane high off the glass. Shot no good. Rebound in the hands of Davis. Davis is pushing it quickly up the court and just throws it behind Martinez and out of bounds. I gave up on keeping up with turnovers in this game.
Yeah, not a bad idea. But that was a big part of how Carl Albert got to a big lead. They saw that Southeast could be kind of loose with the ball, and they got a lot of steals in that first half.
Hatchett pulls up in the paint, kicks it back out. Harrell, and 3 seconds in the lane. called with 46 seconds to play in the third.
So it may have been on Hatchett, who didn't reposition where she needed to, or it could have been on Norton.
Yeah, it did feel like Hatchett was in the paint very long.
Yeah.
But she was in there when the call was made. So was another player. Norton was in there as well. 3 put up off the glass. Shot no good. Cano reaches over the back of Norton, pulls down the rebound. Another offensive board going to Southeast. Martinez with the ball. She's going to bounce out. Defended by Hernandez. Martinez has the ball stripped away, and
whoa, no call?
Officials not wanting to blow the whistle right now.
No, there's a guy calls something when a player falls down. It's either a foul or a travel. Nice pass.
Way down the court, and
Another
it's
nice
Sutton to Horton, and Horton can't hang on to it. It goes out of bounds. But that was a nice look by Sutton.
Also nice look from Hayden Harrell, and, the freshmen, they've been playing together for quite a while on middle school teams and probably elementary teams before that, and now on the freshman team.
Hernandez gets a steal at the buzzer, puts it off the front of the rim from near half court. 58-20 the score. So Carl Albert had a 39-point lead at halftime. They have a 38-point lead going into the fourth with all of that activity. And we're going to take a quick break to hear from our sponsors here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Oklahoma Sports Network, this is Tracy Mussett, Jordan Ray back at Carl Albert High School for Class 5A Regional Girls Playoff action. It's the Carl Albert Lady Titans leading the Southeast Lady Spartans 58-20 as we go into the fourth period. And our fourth period sponsor is Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings at 5500 Tinker Diagonal in Del City. Come to Buffalo Wild Wings to support your favorite Mid-Del winter sports team. Download the team card on your phone, show your waiter, and your team will get 10% of the proceeds. Carl Albert with the ball to begin the fourth period. Ball goes out of bounds, tipped out by Southeast. Now a drive by Harrell leads to a foul called on Southeast. That foul going on number 15. That is Marianne Soto, who is now in the basketball game. The first foul on Soto and the first foul of the fourth period.
Well, as we see these Toonie Bice Houses free throws, I want to mention that at Buffalo Wild Wings tomorrow, we hope to have some Del City sports teams on. And then the following week, we're going to recognize some champion wrestlers. And then the Carl Albert swim team, got to say congratulations to them. They've won their first, on the boys' side, they won their first ever state title. And we'll try to have as many of them on as we can. That's for the show next week.
A lot of good things happening in athletics at Carl Albert High School and Del City High School and Midwest City High School.
So Midwest City's got the two district champions that went undefeated, so we'll see if that translates to the postseason. And Del City's got things going well from the basketball and wrestling. They actually have the most qualifiers heading in this weekend. Nice play by Harrell.
Harrell showing that quickness. Yeah, she zoomed right down there and looked like she was going to make that layup.
Well, she is fast with the ball.
And that would be the second personal foul now on Marianne Soto. Harrell missed both of her free throws in the third period, but she's 3 for 3 here in the fourth. Those free throws brought to you by Toonie Buys Houses, and she's 4 for 4 in the fourth. 62-20, the lead now. That's the biggest lead of the ball game for Carl Albert. Inside, dish down into the hands of number 4, Marissa Rubio. Rubio's hanging out in the corner. It's Sykes out top now. Some dangerous passes there by Southeast, and finally it is Hernandez coming up with the ball for Carl Albert. Jackie Brown right to the hole. She draws the foul. I believe that is going to be, is that a foul on the floor or they call it a shooting foul? Shooting foul.
Right call.
Foul called on Sykes, her first personal.
So last score from El Reno in the game between Altus and Guyman. Guyman leads 47-39. So they pulled away a little bit, but still a lot of action in that game left.
Brown misses the front end, hits the second of the 2 free throws. Those free throws brought to you by Toonie Buys Houses.
Oh, she's got her right back. Nice pick.
Brown gets the steal and the layup. 65-20 the score now. Hopkins driving into the front court, heads to the corner, has the ball tipped away. 6.5 minutes to play in the ball game. Ball tipped away again, but it is Hopkins coming up with it. Then she dribbles off of her thigh out of bounds. Turnover for Southeast.
This young group for Carl Albert has gotten more and more comfortable, and they've actually managed to expand the lead.
And a 3 from the left wing, a little bit long by Brown, but what a rebound and putback by Hernandez. That's her first points of the ball game, and it's a 47-point lead for Carl Albert. Shot put up, maybe a little bit of contact there. Shot by Rubio. Rebound by Carl Albert. Piper Mitchell for 3. Boom! There's another Bobby Lewis Insurance 3, and Mitchell has 3 threes in the ball game, all in the second half of play. It's a 50-point lead by Carl Albert. Bobby Lewis Insurance.
Now that had some arc to it. That was the type of shot you see her making on a regular basis.
Sykes shoots from just inside the arc at the top of the key. Hits that one. And we've got a lot of substitutions coming in for Southeast.
Southeast will play the team that loses in the game we'll have on next between Del City and Guthrie. But that game will be early. That game will be 2 o'clock.
Hernandez shoots the 3 from the corner. Shot no good. Long rebound in the hands of Martinez. Throws it down the court. Brown chases it down. She's going to pull up at the free throw line off the glass. Shot no good.
Say 2 o'clock on Friday. So hopefully we'll get some people out of work or out of school.
So tonight we have the Del City Guthrie girls, and then Thursday, what is our lineup on Thursday and times on those games?
So the host teams will be playing at 6. No team is forfeited on the boys' side, so we should see Del City taking on Altus at Del City. That's 6 o'clock. Midwest City hosting Western Heights. Nice play by Harrell, finishing with the left this time. Midwest City hosting Western Heights, which is the same school their girls team is playing tonight at 6 o'clock. And then Carl Albert will play Noble at 6 o'clock. I think all 3 games are showing at 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. 6 o'clock.
All 6 o'clock, yep. The host teams get to do that. That way they can, if they win, they get a scout.
And then we'll have Elgin playing here at Carl Albert Thursday night, right?
We're going to bring an audio-only stream of that game. Elgin taking on John Marshall.
Cano misses the first of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws.
Now, one team that is struggling, we don't have the game on the network, but Lawton MacArthur hosting Crossings, who's a 2-7 seed. That's a 2 seed for Lawton MacArthur, and they're only up 4 right now, heading into the fourth quarter.
Mitchell headed right to the hole all the way down the court. Just got the ball a little bit too close to the iron off the glass and can't convert on the layup. Martinez goes up, misses the layup on the other end. Gets her own rebound. Cano under the basket, puts up the shot. She's going to the line once again to shoot Toonie Buys Houses free throws. Cano is 2 for 4 from the free throw line in the ball game. We've got 4 minutes and 14 seconds left to play in this ball game, folks, here in this fourth period, brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, and it is a 49-point lead by Carl Albert. Cano misses the front end of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws.
Cano was one player on Southeast that really like the combination of size and athleticism that she shows.
A lefty as well.
Yeah, and that's a nice stroke.
It's the second of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws. She's been to the free throw line for 2 shots 3 different times, and she's made one and missed one each time. Hatchett gets a rebound, kicks the ball back out to Mitchell, and Mitchell hits the long 2.
Making a nice lefty strokes. Piper Mitchell.
Piper Mitchell, leading scorer in the ballgame now with 11 points.
For the ball game, and she's made the most of her minutes. It'll be real interesting next year because they're losing some good seniors, but only one starts. How many of these freshmen who are playing can become rotation players? And again, someone's going to need to replace Asha Moore in the starting lineup. No idea who that would be, but there's going to be some good candidates, some good young candidates.
Martinez misses the first of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws after the foul was called on Leah Hernandez, her 3rd personal foul. And Martinez hits the second of the 2 free throws. 74-25 the score with 3.5 minutes to play. Kinley Sutton drives to the hole and 1 for Sutton. And
she moves in a kind of robotic way, but she has really good instincts and showed really good quickness on that move. Very assertive.
That was Sutton's first points of the ball game. She has the Toonie Buys Houses free throw come up, and it is off the front of the rim, no good. Martinez pushes the ball down the court. Number 11, Daviana Padilla. And Gonzalez from the left elbow. Shot no good.
Nice.
Sutton makes a nice move, catches the pass down the court. Puts it off the glass for 2. She has 4 points. Cano just outside the left elbow, good for 2. Shots dropping for everyone right at the last 30, 45 seconds of play. Mitchell now at the top of the key. It is Carry on defense. Hernandez, a little weave at the top. Sutton for 3. Back iron, no good. Martinez with the rebound. 2:45 to play. Martinez pushes the ball up the court, drives in, picks up her dribble, off the glass, and 1 for Martinez.
Well, Malia Hatches has to be like, why are these fouls being called on me? They're just dribbling into me. There's been a couple of fouls called on her like that.
And Hatchett has picked up her 3rd personal. 4 team fouls on each team now, so we're going to be in the bonus for both teams from here on out. Martinez misses the Toonie Buys Houses free throw. And talking about the bonus, here we go with our first bonus shots. That foul going on Mia Gonzalez, and that'll be 2 free throws for Carl Albert. A lot of fouls in the 4th period. 2.5 minutes to play, 78-29 the score. Carl Albert Lady Titans will be moving on in the winner's bracket of the regional Class 5A regional tournament here at Carl Albert. The Southeast Lady Spartans will be falling into the loser's bracket or the consolation bracket. So they will go on, as we've been talking about, to have a second game.
For Carl Albert, it'll be a 3:30 game, so I'm curious to see how many of the student body, being done with school a few minutes earlier, comes out to that game. I hope to get a good showing crowd-wise.
So Martinez misses a shot. Cano cleans it up, and Cano has 6 points here in the 4th period. She had 7 earlier. She's got 13 points total. She's now the leading scorer in the basketball game. Nice dish to Hatchett in the corner. She drives in, puts up the floater off the hits the front of the rim with it, gets her own rebound.
Nice save.
Save by Sutton, and a jump ball will be called as players are on the floor battling over the ball. Under 2 minutes to play now. 78-31 the score. Davis bringing the ball up the court. Hernandez meets her near half court. Cano looking inside. Martinez to the right elbow. Driving on in. Does the scoop. Puts up the shot. Draws the foul. Gets 2 free throws. Courtesy Toonie Buys Houses.
We've been busy with that sponsor.
And Hatchett just picked up her 4th personal foul in not very many playing minutes. So
Yeah, she's just been at the wrong place at the wrong time. I can't say a whole lot's been, bad with her technique.
just aggressive.
Yep.
Just aggressive. On her man.
But also defending aggressive players.
Yeah, Martinez has been driving here in this 4th period especially and drawing contact, and I don't expect we're going to have many offensive fouls called in a game that's this this out of reach. Martinez misses the front end, actually misses both of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws. Piper Mitchell comes up with the rebound. 1.5 minutes to play in the ball game. Mitchell's in the front court now, defended by Carry-On. Gets around her, hands off. It's Sutton for 3, front of the rim. Gonzalez with the rebound for Southeast. Kyra Davis gets the ball down the court. Hernandez staying with her. Davis goes up for the shot, no good. Sutton gets the rebound. She'll give it back to Mitchell. Mitchell pushing it up the court. 1 minute and 5 seconds to play. Mitchell goes to the hole. Off the glass, good for 2. She has 13 points in the ball game.
Piper Mitchell, she's hitting from the outside. She's hitting mid-range shots, and now she scores in the paint.
Carry-On in the corner. Inside to Cano. Cano spinning around, trying to make a post move. Davis for 3, top of the key. Shot no good.
Nice box out.
Yeah, exactly. Good box out by Hatchett. Gets the rebound, even though it was a long rebound. Going to the hole, and she's fouled.
I think a lot of these freshmen for Carl Albert, they're campaigning to play again sometime in the playoffs in a closer game if it comes to that. So they're going to push the pace every chance they get.
Piper Mitchell's made her case for being an outside shooter in the game.
Yeah. But I'm going to go down and interview the player of the game. We have to look at the first half of player of the game, and it's definitely going to be Audrey Plunkett.
Absolutely. Hatchett misses the first free throw, hits the second. Davis now with the basketball. 23 seconds left to play. It's a 50-point lead for Carl Albert. A steal by Sutton. She's got a fast break, headed to the hole, and Cano runs into her, drawing the foul, sending Sutton to the line with 15 seconds left on the clock. That'll be Cano's second personal, and that is we'll call it the 6th team foul on Southeast. 81-31's the score. Kinley Sutton now shooting 2 Toonie Buys Houses free throws. She hits the first. She has 5 points in the basketball game. You heard Jordan say that our player of the game has to go to Audrey Plunkett for her performance in the first half, where she was the most dominant player on the court. Sutton hits both of the Toonie Buys Houses free throws. Your player of the game is brought to you by the Eastside Church of Christ. Folks, I'm one of the ministers over at the Eastside Church of Christ at 916 South Douglas here in Midwest City. The Eastside Church of Christ, we believe in loving Jesus by loving our neighbors, and we invite you to join us Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. for worship, 10 a.m. for Bible class, or midweek at 7 p.m. on Wednesdays for Bible class. We do stream our services live on Sunday mornings. You can find those at the EastSideChurchOfChrist.org. The Eastside Church of Christ, 916 South Douglas Boulevard, Midwest City. We invite you to come out and find out about all the good things that we're doing to share the love of Christ and serve the community and serve those who are not as advantaged as we are and have challenges in their life. We just try to help make a little order, bring a little order to the chaos of the lives of people here in the community of Midwest City. The Eastside Church of Christ, sponsor of the player of the game. Final score, 83-33. The Carl Albert Lady Titans defeat the Southeast Lady Spartans here in this first round of the Class 5A regional tournament. Next game coming up is going to be the Del City Lady Eagles versus the Guthrie Lady Jays. And that's a 3-6 matchup. Del City, the 3rd seed in District 2. Guthrie, the 6th seed in District 1. And Jordan Ray is with Coach Ritchie, and we'll be talking about player of the game here in just a moment. Jordan, if you are ready, we're ready.
All right, Coach Ritchie, you're able to rest your rotation players in the second half. Why was that important?
Oh, I mean, she does a great job, but it was good to rest. Now we're all going to sit up here. These are two great teams. Whoever we play on Friday is really, really good. So, it was good to rest them. Obviously, we'll have 2 days to prep on whoever wins this game and get ready to go.
Well, what'd you like about how your freshmen played in the second half? Giving it a chance to have this experience that'll obviously be good for them going forward.
Well, it's huge. I mean, you've done enough for our games where I don't care if it's been injuries or foul trouble, and I've played some of them in big games, and I just told them here, I said, it doesn't matter what the score is. I've got to learn to be able to trust you no matter what the scoring situation and time is. If I need you for 30 seconds on offense or 30 seconds on defense, it's a huge 30 seconds, or just give somebody a breather. And so it's big, and so it was an evaluation point as well.
All right, if you had to handicap the next game, because you're familiar with Guthrie playing them twice, in Del City you obviously know, what would you say about the game coming up here?
I think it comes down to the last shot. I really do. I think this is as evenly matched. Two great coaches. Everybody's had a week to prep. I'm going to sit back and watch. It's going to be a great game.
All right, we'll enjoy it, Coach. You enjoy as well.
Thank you.
All right, Tracy.
And again, folks, the final score in that ball game, 83-33. The Carl Albert Lady Titans defeating the Southeast Lady Spartans, Southeast High School in Oklahoma City. And this is in the new 5A, 6A playoff matchup. Every team makes the regional tournament in a double elimination. The lower seeded teams from their district will play the higher seeded teams. The Carl Albert Lady Titans playing the 8th seed, and really you could call it the 7th seed. John Marshall finished a little higher in the standings in District 2, but were not eligible for the playoffs due to forfeiting some district games during the regular season. So it is the Carl Albert Lady Titans advancing in the winner's bracket of district play, 83-33. Coming up next, our game between the 3 seed from District 2, Del City, versus the 6 seed from District 1, Guthrie. And you just heard Coach Ritchie saying he expects this to be a very competitive game.
Yep, definitely expect it, and we look forward to bringing it to you. Glad everyone could tune into this game. This next game for Guthrie Del City will be on a different stream. And different YouTube link and different Facebook videos. But it should be easy to find. So stay tuned for that.
And so our player of the game, we talked about Audrey Plunkett because of her performance during the first half. She wasn't able to join you down on the court. She'd already headed to the locker room. But she had a phenomenal first half with her offensive moves, shooting outside, defensive moves with steals, rebounding. Just a really great game by Audrey Plunkett.
Yes, her defense was very active. She, if she kept playing, she would have gotten a triple-double, in steals being one of the categories she got a triple-double in.
Now, the starters went out of the game earlier, didn't come back in and play in the second half. So in the second half, if we had to pick a player of the game, Piper Mitchell had a really good shooting performance, ended up being leading scorer in the game with 13 points. But the game was already well in hand because of what Audrey Plunkett and the rest of the starters had done during the first half. But congratulations to Piper Mitchell for putting in a great performance along with the rest of her teammates there in the second half of play. Folks, we're going to go ahead and break away as we can get the next stream started up for this next game. Again, you can find that one on the Oklahoma Sports Network app and website, or just look for us on YouTube or Facebook. It is Oklahoma Sports Network, Del City Girls versus Guthrie Girls, and we'll be back on that stream in just a moment. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.